The desert, a biome that is definitely not lacking in the Mario universe. After all, it serves as the second world setting in multiple games, and makes various comebacks in many spin-off games. Besides enchanting lullabies and the overusage of different shades of warm colors, deserts in the Mario universe are well known for their unique level designs and obstacles. Whether it's secret areas hidden within quicksand, maze-like structures, or unique enemies, sandy dunelands are very distinctive inside the adventures of the two twin plumbers. Out of all those baddies, the ones that are most associated with the very dry desert is most likely the Pokey, the long multi-segmented cactus that sneaks around and dominates the lands in which it claims. This marvelous sentient species of cacti would prove to be a marvel within the real world, but it doesn't need to be, since Pokeys share quite a number of similarities with real-life cacti. But what exactly are those similarities? What are the blueprints behind their design and development? Shall we find out? Let's answer one question. What are Pokeys? First things first, I need to get this out of the way. With multiple iconic deserts on the crust of planet Earth, how does one determine which one of these was used as inspiration for the drawing boards for Mario Deserts? Well, let's take a closer look. The grand majority of Mushroom World deserts are brimmed with sand dunes and pyramids. While multiple deserts are coated in sand dunes and pyramids reside in multiple continents in various biomes, the combination of the two, located on the same land, seem to show that the Mushroom Kingdom deserts are heavily inspired by the Sahara. And on top of that, the architectural blueprints that make up the Mushroom Pyramids strongly resemble those of ancient Egyptian pyramids. And of course, when one thinks of plant life that inhabits deserts, the cactus is the first to come to mind. But the unusual fact is, despite the almost direct association with deserts, there is not a single species of cacti that populate the Sahara Desert. Nope. With the exception of the mistletoe cactus, all cacti species are naturally found exclusively in the Americas. Even with that, the non-American habitat the mistletoe cactus occupies are tropical Central Africa, Madagascar, and Sri Lanka, none of which are remotely close to a Sahara-like ecosystem. By realistic observation, the Pokey inhabiting the Mushroom Kingdom deserts is inaccurate, but it doesn't change the strong resemblance Pokeys have with a certain species of cacti. Out of all the species that belong to the family of cacti, Pokeys seem to have the most resemblance to the Stenoceros eruca, more commonly known as the Creeping Devil. This species of cacti are quite the rarity among plants. It is endemic to the Central Pacific coast of Baja California Sur, Mexico. Pokeys, obviously, are not the everyday cactus, seeing how, like most plants, the cactus is restricted by its roots. Pokeys, on the other hand, are perfectly mobile. This is where the similarities with the Creeping Devil emerge, since it got its name by the notion that it travels from one place to another. However, it doesn't move like, let's say, how a person walks or how a fish swims. There is no muscle activity. Instead, older stem portions will begin to die and decay, all while the roots are pushed towards the growing tips, granting a unique form of movement. If you are not following, here is an example. Place 5 blocks in a straight line right next to each other. Now take 2 from one end and place them at the other end. While no muscular motion occurred, it's pretty clear that Creeping Devils are not the stationary plants. Pokeys also loosely resemble this in a second way. In some games, after losing body segments, they will slowly regenerate them. Due to a scarcity of pollinating creatures, the Creeping Devil adapted to the ability of cloning itself. This works by having pieces of the plant detaching from the major shoot as the base dies and rots. This sounds kind of similar to one of Pokey's attacks. One of the segments detaches from the main body and they are used as projectiles. And of course, Pokeys also have other common cacti traits, such as needles covering the entire plant and flowers blooming at the end of the cactus. While real world cacti may have painful needles and toxic fruits, just be thankful that they don't allegedly attack humans, because that would be scary.